Michelle, you rock. Girl power. I mean, it's October 18th, and we played a game. It's 2 weeks earlier than we normally do. I'm proud of our team. We had some good things and some things that weren't very good, and Deja Young was out with she's just a little banged up. She'll be fine. Maddie Wilkie was on unrestricted minutes, so she just played a little bit. And that's what these exhibition games are about, is just seeing where you're at and work on stuff. And we've got new players that trying to just figure out where they fit and rotations. But I thought we played hard. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't perfect. But if we were both those things October 18th, that'd be weird. So it's going to give us some good film and some good positive things. I thought CSU Pueblo played hard and gave us their best effort, which I respect. So, we move on.
So, Lynn, I asked both you and Alyssa the other day, how excited you were to play someone that was not yourself.
Yeah.
Now that you have done that, what's the feeling? How are we feeling after that?
Well, it feels real now that we're playing a game and there's fans, and I appreciate all those people that came out. It just feels like, okay, season's here. It's really gone by quickly, the fall. But it's nice to play against other people and have to read and react on both offense and defense and hone in on principles and all that. Just all the stuff that preseason is. This was a good example of it. And, for every couple things we did right, we have a couple things to clean up. So, but we'll get there, and I believe in this team, and it's all part of the process.
It seemed like the first quarter was a little tight, and then you guys really loosened up. What was happening out there that kind of changed to where you guys played maybe a little bit better in the last three quarters versus that first quarter?
I think we stopped fouling as much. The officials are it's their first game out too, and so we don't have officials in practice, so we're just adjusting to the officiating and remembering that, oh yeah, can't do that, and can't do that, and oh yeah, we can't do that, and that's part of it. That's why you have to play these games. But I thought we stopped fouling, so we were able to get stops and then get out and run, and then that's when we're at our best.
Alyssa, you led the team in points. What was it like being out there and kind of getting back into the groove of things again?
It felt great. Honestly, before the game, I was just trying to keep myself, because I was just, the way I was feeling, I was just super excited to just start playing someone else, some, teams, and start games. And, it's just exciting, for me personally, just coming off of last season. Obviously we want to get better and we want to improve. So just to kind of see, that baseline of where we're at as a team was super exciting, so.
We saw you in limited minutes kind of last year. You got to play a lot more in this exhibition game. What have you done over the off season to really kind of improve your game and maybe make a push to be part of that lineup more this year?
All summer I worked really hard. I had a meeting with Coach Rob towards the end of last season, and I had an agenda, and my only goal really was just to hit all my cues. So this year I'm really just trying to make an impact. I don't want to be a role player anymore. I want to be really involved within the team, and regardless if that's having to rebound, and all the little things, I'm just really just trying to make an impact.
Coach Roberts has called you a mood lifter at times.
Mm-hmm.
What is it about your personality that you think just kind of maybe helps change the perspective or the way that the game's going?
Yeah, I'm a very intense person. I just want to make, an impact when I go into the game, regardless if I have to yell, scream, do a backflip. I'm going to do whatever I have to. But yeah, when I get in there, the little things, matter. I'm going to celebrate everything, regardless if that's a tip by Alyssa or a rebound. I'm going to yell. Once we all get going, I think it impacts everybody.
And can I add on that?
Go for it.
I think, I've been very impressed with Lonnie. Last year, she worked really hard to get into the rotation, and by the end of the season she was. But she never doubted her value even when she wasn't in, and just her energy that she brings in practice. And, even in the hallways you see her, and there's so much value in that. You can't put a stat on that, but the value that brings to a team and a culture is amazing, and we've come to rely on her for that. So it's not just like, oh wow, this is a fun freshman. It's like, okay, this is who she is and what she brings, and how valuable that is.
Alyssa, you started last year. You were new, obviously, and kind of getting worked into a team that you hadn't been with in the past. This year, obviously, a lot more familiar with your surroundings. How does this year feel different maybe than last year for you?
So coming from, the other school I was at and coming here, it was a big, I think, change for me just culturally and within a team, and like what our principles and like what our just our key things we focus on are. So coming to a program like that, it was tough to kind of break out of old habits and things like that. But I had all the support in the world around me, and so like just building off of that, going forward to this year, like I know I got the support. I know I got like great people on my team. So I just honestly, it's the best feeling when we win, and I just think going off from last year, it gives me a lot more confidence. I think like me personally and us as a team. So yeah, I think the biggest difference is just like that confidence piece, and it plays a big role in anything you do. So it's important to have that.
Obviously, you probably need to go back and watch the film before you can make really decisive statements. But like the one thing I noticed was there were kind of some weird turnovers, especially towards the
Totally.
beginning of the game. What else do you think you maybe want to kind of clean up as you look towards the October 30th exhibition game?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't have our best shooting night. I think the shots we took, in the first half there was some just sloppiness, and second half too. But we had new people out there that haven't played out there, and they haven't played together, and that chemistry and that rhythm takes time. And someone like Nene, who she's had a great couple weeks of practice, and then she just kind of looked, she's nervous, and so there's nothing there that you can fix other than time fixes that, experience fixes that. Offensively today, I played everybody, and everybody's getting, so it's hard to get into kind of a rhythm. So, we need to nail out our rotation and where people are going to play. And, Deja's going to play. Maddie Wilkie's going to play. And so, we just got to figure all that out. But I thought the guys that went today, Reese Ross had a good showing for her first ever collegiate. And, Lonnie had 16 points. She shot it great, but I think she would tell you she could play better, right?
1000%.
Yeah. But that's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
Like it's just going to take time and just more experience together. There's 101 little nitpicky things that we'll find that we need to get better at. So the answer to your question, like we got to work on a lot of things, and I think a lot of what you saw with the choppiness on offense is just new, and we're not, we haven't played together. It's a new team, even though we have so many people back. It's still a new team, and every team has its own personality and its own kind of chemistry on the floor, and so we're still working those kinks out.
How nice is it having an exhibition game and some of these earlier preseason games to kind of work some of that stuff out, especially when you do have some new people kind of coming into the mix that maybe changes the flow of the game a little bit until everybody's used to each other?
Yeah, and that's the whole intention, right? And, Jenna didn't play, I don't think, much in the second half, and, she's such a key part for us, but, like, that's what these games are for, is to get the people that maybe need more minutes, need more, so sometimes it's not always the prettiest. If I had stuck to a stricter rotation, I mean, I don't know what the final score would have been, but it would have been better, So you have to play through those things.
Obviously, you've had bigger crowds in the past, but it wasn't a bad crowd.
It was a good crowd for an exhibition game at 5.
A weird 5 o'clock
Yes.
on a Wednesday.
Yes.
Talk about having that fan support kind of coming back and hopefully getting them geared up and involved a lot earlier than they were last year.
Yeah, it's huge, and I appreciate you bringing that up because that's something that I've been pushing on, and there's a lot of, thanks to people like you, there's excitement and buzz out there about us, and we just have to keep improving and putting the product out there. But yeah, to have 3,700 at an exhibition at 5 o'clock, that's awesome. that would have been a great crowd for us a couple years ago. And so hopefully we can build it, and hopefully, despite the sloppiness today, they'll come back and bring a friend.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't realize that many people.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank you.
Appreciate it, Michelle. You're the best.